it's Brindley. I'm back. I know that we missed last week. Kind of goes along with tonight's topic. So tonight's topic is progress, not perfection. And my team typically asks me, for a couple topics, and I don't give them a lot because a lot of the topics come by people that reach out or themes that I'm hearing or something that I read. And I gave them a list about a week ago, and I said, here are some future topics, and then just let me know. And so when they sent me the list today, this one popped out because it is something that I'm hearing a lot of. I think that it's something I've learned a lot about, even up to, a month ago, and last week. And so the title tonight is Progress, Not Perfection. And for a really, really long time, I wanted to be perfect. And I thought I could be perfect. And I would strive to be perfect. I was the kid that got all A's and 1B on her report card and couldn't go in the limo for the contest and just lost it and swore that I would never get a B ever again. And then over time, as I started going through my life journey and life started getting hard and I didn't want to feel, and I realized that I couldn't live up to that level of perfection that I had put on myself, and I would just go the complete opposite way. And I would just say, well, if I can't be perfect, then I'm just going to just do whatever I want and not worry about anything and not try to be anything because I can't be perfect. And the reality is there's no such thing as perfect. There's no perfect life. There's no perfect house. There's no perfect car. There's no perfect human. And as soon as we can accept the fact that perfection is almost this hallucination, if you will, of a expectation that we have put on ourselves that really is not attainable. And so as I started looking at reasons for perfection in my life, and I started reading about why people put perfection in their life, there's a couple things that stood out. And the first one was perfection driven by fear. And we talk about this a lot because almost every emotion that a human experiences or feels is based in fear. And it's typically fear of two things: fear of losing something that you have, or fear of not getting what you want. And so when we have a level of perfection, we typically have a fear of something. So for me, if I'm being super vulnerable, which you know I always am, mine was a fear of rejection, of a fear of people not liking me, a fear of being taken advantage of, and therefore being hurt. My triggers, which everyone in my world knows, good and bad, and they have reared their ugly head, and they have cost me friendships, they have cost me professional relationships. I'm finally learning how to handle those triggers and how to approach them. We all have them. And so for me, it was that rejection. And if you knew me last year, probably all of 2019, I had hair extensions. I had fake lashes. I was doing everything that I could because I wanted her hair. I wanted her lashes. I wanted to look like her. And I was comparing my insides to everyone around me's outsides. And a friend who I trust, because I have people in my life today that will do it, called me out on it. And she said, Brindley, you're just not you. You're not authentic anymore. What is going on? And the truth was that I was unhappy. I was in an environment that I wasn't flourishing in. I wasn't in business with people who had the same values as me, and therefore I had lost myself. And I couldn't live up to this perfection of what others were putting at me. I was afraid that I was going to lose. No one was going to want to hear from me. No one was going to want to work with me anymore. No one was going to want me to coach them. Nobody was going to like me. And I started becoming someone I didn't want to be. And so what that did was it caused me to have all of these, make all of these decisions on reaching this level of perfection that was defined by everyone else, not by myself. And that is because the first step to focusing on progress versus perfection is having love. Love is unconditional. Perfection is conditional. When someone wants you to be perfect, hi, Christy, and they will put a condition on you that unless you are this way, I won't be around you. Or unless you're this way, I can't have you in my world. And that's where grace goes out the window, forgiveness goes out the window, letting go goes out the window. We can still set boundaries. We can say, I'll have you in my life, yet it's going to look very different than it did before. Yet we have to be able to give people grace. Lord knows I have made a ton of mistakes. I have not been kind. I have been, hi, Shawnee. I have made mistakes because I'm human and I'm not perfect. Yet every time I make those mistakes, I learn from them. And all I can do is focus forward and make sure that I do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. And sometimes I make that same mistake 3-4 times. I fall off the bike numerous times and I scrape my knees. And as long as I'm learning and I'm moving forward. So what I want you to remember is that we're all going to have self-doubt. So I was watching Masterclass. If you don't know what Masterclass is, it's really cool. They have like all these famous people and people that are really excelled in their fields teach these classes. You can go to masterclass.com. And Sarah Blakely, who founded Spanx, a lot of us follow her and look to her as a female entrepreneur and leader. She talked about self-doubt, and she talked about the entire time that she was building Spanx, and even when Spanx had all of its success, and even now that Spanx has incredible success, she still has self-doubt. We are always going to have self-doubt. Self-doubt is actually a signal of progress. It is not a signal to stop. So what's important is that, I know, David, I need to tattoo it on my brain too. What's important for us to remember is when the self-doubt comes, how are we going to handle it? How are we going to combat it? What are we going to use to fight the battle of self-doubt in our minds? And so if you want to have progress, not perfection, plan for the obstacles, plan for the self-doubt. What could the obstacle and the challenge be in moving forward? And when that happens, what am I going to do? And who's going to hold me accountable to doing that? You know, Thomas Edison, I love what he said. You know, he didn't say I failed 10,000 times in making the light bulb. He said, I just found 10,000 ways for it not to work, right? I just found out 10,000 ways it didn't work so that I could find the way that it worked. So we have to shift our mindset that progress is the only thing that is perfection. As long as you are focused on progress and baby steps. So I had a coaching client today that we were talking, and we said, I said, are you doing anything for yourself? And honestly, you could tell she wasn't. You know, we all have physical signs when we're tired and when we're not doing the things that we should be doing. And she said, I should probably do yoga. Now, a lot of people would push someone and say, great, what are we going to do? How many times a week are you going to set it up? And I said, what is one baby step commitment that you can do this week? And she said, I can commit to doing yoga one day. Well, how am I going to get that in? And are things open? And I said, well, yeah, I did yoga and bar in Washington, and they're pretty strict up there. And everybody knows Florida, you know, we're just living the dream down here, and everything's open here. I said, but you know, they also have online stream classes. And she said, I can commit to doing one live stream this week. I said, great, let's just start there. That's progress. What happens is that we set these big, audacious expectations on ourselves, and then we don't hit them, and then we feel like a failure. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, which we've talked about. Set the little thing, and then you always feel like you're winning and you're making progress. Take the small steps, ignore the drama. I've had a lot of drama thrown at me, and I am a recovering drama queen. I am not afraid to admit it. Everybody knows it. If you talk to anybody, they're going to tell you it's something I work on. It's something that I have gotten sometimes really good at. Progress, not perfection, right? And yet somebody taught me, I think it was Ben Kenny, because he studies a lot of Winston Churchill. You don't have to bark back at every dog that barks at you. So meaning that you don't have to respond to every distraction. You don't have to get involved in every bit of drama. You can acknowledge it, set the boundary, move on, and let go. Do not allow people to rent space in your head. That is expensive real estate. And when we get involved in drama, first and foremost, it has usually nothing to do with us. It's them. It's their pain. It's what they're going through. It's their hurt. It's their anger. And we're getting drawn in, and we're allowing them to project their stuff on us. And I've had a lot of stuff lately that thrown at me that people want to ensue drama, or drama could be ensued. And I've just had to say, as much as this is yucky and stinks and I don't like it and I want to fight, I'm just going to step back. You know, I recently deleted someone on Facebook, and not because I didn't want them to see me. I deleted them because I didn't want to see them. They were a trigger for me. I didn't want to see what they were posting. I didn't want to see what was going on because I know it's a trigger for me and I have to take care of me, right? And I have to do what's right for me. So it's okay to delete that person. It's okay to set those boundaries. It's okay to say, you know what, right now, I don't think that there's space for us. And I'm not saying forever. Let's reconvene in a few months and see where we're at. So again, progress, not perfection. Don't put an element of perfection on yourself that no one can hit, even you. I hope this has helped. Remember that, positive quitting is okay. It is okay to walk away. It is brave and it is courageous to walk away. It is brave and courageous to walk away from things that are not good for you or in which you're not getting progress because you're striving so hard for perfection. Just walk away. Because just remember, everything right now is temporary. And what will this matter in a year? So just remember that. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.